So, good afternoon, class. So, as we have started with chapter 7, so let's continue with why are youth vulnerable. So, we have read about the children, that why the children are vulnerable and what are the different programs which are initiated in order to control the vulnerability of these groups, of this particular group, children. And today we are going to start with why are youth vulnerable. So the National Youth Policy 2014 defines youth as persons in the age group of 15 to 29 years. So you have to remember this, that the youth, which age group is included in this group of youth. So the age group of 15 to 29 years are considered as youth. So those between 13 to 19 years are called adolescents. Our national progress depends crucially on the ways and the means through which youth are encouraged and nurtured as a positive force for national growth and are enabled to contribute to social economic development. So youth is a vulnerable period due to many reasons. During this period, an individual is trying to come to terms with many biological changes in her or his body, so which have an impact on the person's sense of well-being and identity. So this is also the period when the individual is preparing to take an adult roles, two of the forecasts being earning a livelihood and marriage followed by raising a family. So earning as a livelihood and marriage and followed by raising a family is what the primary concern of this youth, because the youth people are those particularly the adolescents, when they have crossed their adolescent period and enters the adulthood period. This is what the youth starts. So the 15 to itself adolescent, the last period of this adolescent period is also included in this youth. So the 15 to 29 years, these are the crucial time. So when the people think about settling down, earning as a livelihood and marriage followed by raising a family. So these are what the following things are about, and this is why the youth are vulnerable, because you'll come to know that the peer groups, they are also the peer pressure, and the pressure to excel increasing competitive world is also included. So as you can see that the peer pressure and pressure to excel in an increasingly competitive world are other factors that can cause a lot of stress and turmoil. So when the family or environment is unable to provide positive support to the adolescent, some adolescents may consume alcohol and drugs, also termed substance abuse. Such maladjustive behavior for combating the stress is on the rise. So health is another aspect which is the critical concern. So in this particular adolescent time, it is a very crucial time when the parents or the guardians, if there are they should be taking proper concern about their child, because in this time what they need is basically the support which is from the family, or the family should be understanding the particular their child properly, and counsel also them properly and listen to them, what are their pressure, why are they taking stress, and what are the factors on which are hampering them. The senior guardians, they should be understanding this, and they should conclude some solutions regarding this. Otherwise what we see nowadays are that these youths, they became alcoholic, also takes drugs and other things, which ultimately is a factor which indirectly or directly hampers their health. So youth face significant risks related to sexual and reproductive health also, and may lack knowledge and power to make informed sexual and reproductive health choices. So within the broad category youth, there are some groups who are specially vulnerable. So among these youth, there are also some categories who are more vulnerable, or special guidance should be given to these, like the rural and tribal youth, or out of the school youth, those who are out of the schools, I mean don't go to the school anymore, or were given TC from schools, adolescents, particularly female adolescents, youth with disabilities, the youth with the disabilities, they should be taken proper concern. Youth under especially difficult circumstances like victims of trafficking, orphans and street children. So these children should be taking much care, because they are homeless and they don't know what to do, and if proper guidance is given to them, they can lead their future brightfully, and if not, that can lead to some negative approaches with also the health concern, as I told you. So these are the problems, or these are the reasons why the youth people are the vulnerable. So now there are different programs, or rather youth programs in India. So the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports adopted the National Youth Policy in 2003. According to that, several programs are initiated, what we are going to learn now. Very first program is the NSS, that is the National Service Scheme, which aims at involving college level students in programs of social service and national development like constructions and repair of the roads, school buildings, village ponds, tanks, activities related to environmental and ecological improvement like trees plantation, removal of the weeds from the lakes, digging pits, activities related to hygiene and sanitation, family welfare, child care, mass immunization, vocational training in craft, tailoring, knitting and organizing cooperatives. So the NSS students also render assistance to local authorities for implementing of various reliefs and rehabilitation programs to meet the needs of the economically and socially weaker sections of the community. So the NSS is the kind of a training which are given by the government to the students, so that they involves themselves to different kinds of social activities or any kind of national developmental program, like whatever the examples I have told you. There are several examples. They can work in these and can work for their environment or for the nature or for the social activities. So these are what the NSS aims. Okay. So the next program is the National Service Volunteer Scheme that we are going to learn. So the second one is the National Service Volunteer Scheme, which provides opportunities to students who have completed their first degree to involve themselves in a whole time basis for a short time or of 1 or 2 years in programs of national development, mainly through Nehru Yuva Kendra. So now this thing you have to remember properly, that Nehru Yuva Kendra. So this is basically a program which the National Service Volunteer Scheme provides, affiliated with this Nehru Yuva Kendra. So they are involved in the programs of adult education, establishment of youth clubs, organizing of work camps, youth leadership training programs, vocational training, promotion of the rural sports, games, etc. So the Nehru Yuva Kendras also aim to enable the non-student youth of rural areas to contribute to the development in rural areas. So the ones who are not studying or they are not involved in any kind of education, so this Nehru Yuva Kendra, this also give them the vocational training, with the help of which they can basically given to the rural students who can work in their rural area in different kinds of training programs or vocational training programs. Okay. So through the various activities, the Kendras aims to popularize national accepted objectives such as self-reliance, secularism, socialism, democracy, national integration, developments of the scientific temper. So these programs basically give some skills and self-reliance and possibilities of doing something or contributing something for the social, do something in their area, or for doing something socially. So these activities are organized for the purpose of helping the non-student youth acquire literacy and numeracy skills for self-reliance, upgrade their functional capabilities and make them aware of the possibilities of their development. So this is basically a realization programs which are given to the youths to make them understand that they are capable of doing many things if they learn something if they get the proper training, they are able to do something more, or they can contribute something more for their in the future. So this is what the national scheme service volunteer schemes provide with this Nehru Yuva Kendra. Comes the promotion of adventure. So many youth clubs and voluntary organization organizes activities like mountaineering, trekking, hiking, exploration for collection of data, study of flora and fauna in the mountains, forest, desert, seas, canoeing, coastal sailing, raft exhibitions, swimming, cycling, etc. by using the financial assistance provided by the government for the promotion of adventure. So for promoting these adventurous or adventure purposes or adventurous things, so the government, they financially provide some programs to the youths in order to involve themselves in this kind of activities, and encourage the persons for different kinds of adventurous purposes. So these activities are aimed at encouraging the spirit of adventure, risk-taking, cooperative teamwork, capacity of ready and vital responses to challenging situations, and endurance among the youth. So government also provides assistance for establishment and development of the institutions to facilitate such activities. So the government also provides the proper facilities for taking this kind of risks and by the youths. So this is basically, they are trying to give the message that you they are giving this message to the youths that come along with these new kind of experiences and for the promotion of the adventure. You can see that scouts and guides, the government provides financial support for the training scout and guides, organizing rallies, jamborees, etc. These aims of developing the character of the boys and girls to make them the good citizens by inculcating in them a spirit of loyalty, patriotism, and thoughtfulness for the others. It also promotes balanced physical and mental development and inculcates a desire for social service. So this is what the Scout and Guides, this program is also being initiated to get rid of the vulnerability of the youth. Next come the Commonwealth youth programs. India is participating in the Commonwealth youth programs, which is aimed at making the youth participate in development process of their respective countries and provide forum for increasing cooperation and understanding among the Commonwealth countries. So under this program, 3 regional centers for advanced studies in youth work has been set up that are in India, Zambia and Guyana. So these are the 3 countries which centers which are being taken and where this kind of trainings are being given. So next comes the promotion of the national integration. That is, the financial assistance is given by the government to many voluntary agencies to organize visits of youth living in one state to another state with marked cultural differences, in order to promote greater understanding of the historical and cultural heritage of the country. So of the problems being faced by the people of different regions and environment, social customs, etc. So in other parts of the country, camps, seminars, etc. are also organized with the objective of promoting national integration. So the proper in order to organize the proper integration programs, the promotion of the national integration programs are also being done by the different government sectors, and the government also financially assist the different kinds of the programs who are taking this chance of promoting the national integration programs. So these are also being provided with the help of the making camps, seminars, where a group of people will be together and you can promote the different kinds of these national integration programs, and also by promoting them, the national integration programs can be also be done with the different kinds of these volunteering agencies. So these are the programs which are being taken in order to control the vulnerability of the youth. So now the next step we are going to read about the next or last vulnerability group, that is the elderly. So why are the elderly people they are vulnerable, and what are the programs which are initiated in order to control the vulnerability of these elderly people? Okay, so next day we are going to learn about that. And if you are facing any kind of problems in this or previous any kind of lessons, you can contact me, or you can discuss